שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בסכו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסכו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני, שירו לאדוני, שירו לאדוני. ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בסכו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסכו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים.
Hashivenu Adonai lecha v'nashuva Hashivenu Adonai lecha v'nashuva Chadesh Yameinu Yameinu Kekadem Chadesh Yameinu Yameinu Kekadem Hashivenu Adonai lecha v'nashuva Hashivenu Adonai lecha v'nashuva
Shabbat Shalom. On this Shabbat Shuvah, we are keenly aware of this liminal space we are in, the middle of the 10 days of awe between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, just following the beginning of our year and heading into the most important holiday on our calendar. As Yom Kippur approaches, we are supposed to be in awe, giving ourselves the time to recognize the amazing things happening around us. I wanted to share a reading from our prayer book called Ve'ahavta for Elul. I recognize we're not at Ve'ahavta and we're not in Elul anymore, but it still pertains, so bear with me. You shall love the ones who are close with all your heart, with all your spirit, with all your strength. Remember these words, inscribe them on your heart. Love them when they struggle, when they sadden and disappoint you. Love them when they fail. See the good within them, even when they can't. Look at them and listen, even when it's hard. Be grateful for their guidance, even their reproof, when they save you from yourself. Love them when they give you joy, and love them when they don't. When you lie down, let go of anger. When you rise up at dawn, begin again. Praise them for their deeds at home. Speak to them in public with respect. Bind yourself to the ones you love with promises kept and vows fulfilled. Open to them the gates of your heart, the doorway of your soul, and let them know you. So shall the ones you cherish feel your love, your presence, and your care. We feel that love, presence, and care tonight as a community. And as we join together on page 11, as we light our Shabbat candles, I invite up Mina Lopez to bring that light to us.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring their offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Please join me in Kiddush on page 12. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabat.
L'chaim. We continue with Kabbalat Shabbat, welcoming Shabbat with song on page 15, in the middle of the page from Psalm 98, Zamru Ladonai.
Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, Samru Ladonai. Samru Ladonai v'chino, Samru Ladonai v'chino v'kol zimra. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai. And on page 18, the second line, Tov lehodot. We give thanks to God. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. L'agir b'boker chastecha, ve'emunatcha b'leilot. L'agir b'boker chastecha, ve'emunatcha b'leilot. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon.
We turn to page 22, L'Chadodi, as we welcome the Sabbath Spirit towards us, in case you haven't felt it already. And we're bringing it towards us with our singing of the verses that are on this page. And when we reach that last verse, Bo'и v'Shalom, we will rise facing the main entrance of our sanctuary, beckoning that Sabbath Spirit towards us. Let's join together.
Lecha dodi li kakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. Fnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi li kakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. Fnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Hishmi'anu el ha'meuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad. L'shem u'tiferet ve'litila. Lecha dodi li kakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi li kakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha. Ki mekor haberacha. Merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh v'machshava tchila. Lecha dodi li kakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi li kakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki va'orech kumiori. Uri, uri, shir daveri, kevod Adonai alaich nigla. Lecha dodi li kakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi li kakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala. Gam besimcha u'betzola. Toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Lecha dodi li kakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi li kakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Turn to those around you, wish them a Shabbat Shalom. If there's somebody you don't know, introduce yourself. We continue with Chatzi Kaddish on page 24 as we remain standing through Shema.
Yitkarov yitkarash shemir rabba. Amen. Be'amad yivrach eretei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chai echon u'vyom echon. Uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala. Uv'izman kariv. V'meru. Amen. Yeheshmer Rabba mevorach leolam olam me'amaya yitbarach yitbarach
So as we come together in the middle of our High Holy Day season, you will notice some High Holy Day sounding prayers. Yes, it is. I know it's in your head now, but you will notice that some of our prayers continue the High Holy Day nusach, the sound of it. And we also have some extra insertions because it is Shabbat Shuvah and it is that special time. We'll let you know when we're there. We're not there yet. But because this is our last week using this Sidur until we get to next Elul, I'm taking advantage of sharing some readings with you that I find really meaningful. So on the bottom of 29, not the footnote, but above, the holy is twilight, if you will join with me. Holy is twilight, the realm of in-between, and so our sages taught, pray in the moments when light and darkness touch. We are all twilight people, beyond categories and labels. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, widen our vision. Let it illumine our way to the God who transcends all boundaries and definitions. Blessed are you, God of all, who brings on the twilight. And we're going to do the Chatima on the bottom of page 28, that Hebrew line, Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. On page 31 at the top. If you find joy in Torah, you'll sit with the sages and drink their words, your soul refreshed like a tree by streams of water. Wisdom will follow you all the seasons of your life, celebration in the sunlight, consolation in the night. Your roots will grow deep. You'll anchor yourself in courage and hope. You'll savor and cherish the true work of your hands. Your passion for life will not wither or fade. They'll treasure the lessons you leave behind. Remember what you taught in word and deed. And those who come after you will honor your path. The Chatima on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Page 32.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam vaed. You may be seated. Please join me on page 34 and continuing on to 36 with Ve'afta. Ve'afta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'atecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot ayadecha ve'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'yish'arecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim leloechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti atchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Amen.
Page 41 at the top. Crossing the sea. Eternal, watch over my small domain of light and shadow, those few people who share my love and all others upon this earth that sometimes shakes with thunder and reverberates with lightning. Help us to live with fear and conquer rage, heal the hate that makes us kill, and covers the ground with this Red Sea that only you can part. So we may all walk through the wilderness to your realm of peace, where all men and women are one, and sing your blessed name. Mi chamocha, page 40.
Mi chamocha belim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, narutilot osefele, malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokayam lifnei Moshe. מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, כל ישראל.
This Siddur gives us the opportunity for silent reflection with an entire section of meditations from pages 43 to 45. On page 42, we see Hashkivenu, a prayer we say at night, asking God to watch over us and to let us awaken renewed in the morning. As we think about the blessings that we each have, we take a moment to look at pages 42 to 45 for a moment of silent reflection. Feel free to find one reading or peruse multiple, and we will come back together for Vishamru on page 46.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
We rise for the Amidah, beginning on page 48.
ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, העליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד אתה, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומותיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מחמוך בגבורות, ומדור מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע מחמוך. אל הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו, לחיים ברחמים, למען אתה, לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש, ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה, אדוני המלך הקדוש.
You may be seated. For the past 4 weeks, we've taken time of meditation during this section, and I have chosen a couple of my favorite readings to share with you, and I would love if you joined with me. So I'm actually going to have you turn back to page 53 to give us a kavanah from the Elul Psalms, and kavanah is our intent in the prayer. The rabbis say that there are two different elements to prayer, the keva and the kavanah, the keva being that fixed, and if we go page by page, that's great, but if you don't have that kavanah, that intention, the prayers mean nothing. So I take this kavanah, which there is on every blue page in this section, very seriously as setting the intention for the rest of our prayer time together and maybe through the high holy days. Together, create for me a pure heart, renew within me constancy and calm, respond, answer us with justice and awe. God of our salvation, you are the source of trust, from the farthest ends of the earth to its most distant seas. To the bottom of page 61. God breathed into us a living soul, the gifts of respiration, inspiration, aspiration. May we sanctify this day by breathing deeply, attentive to all gifts. We taste the sweetness of the world that could be. Page 67. We read together a momentary glory. This world is a momentary glory. I never thought it would last forever, so I tried to get it down in one notebook or another, in one poem or another. Somewhere you can find it. Together, the bottom of page 69. For all these gifts. For the gifts I received today, air in my lungs, pulse in my veins, my restless mind alive and curious, awakening suddenly to beauty, for love and the memory of love, forgiveness when I didn't deserve it, another chance at life. Let my soul give thanks to you. Let me not forget your kindness. We turn now to page 77. For Misha Berach, as we think of all of those who have that chance at life, who are in need of healing of mind, of body, and of spirits. We think of them, the ones that are on your service supplement or on your screen on live stream, and those that are in our hearts as we take a moment to whisper their names out loud. Page 77, Misha Berach.
Mishaberach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu, mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Please take a moment for your own silent meditations. Osa shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, yaseh shalom aleinu, osa shalom. ask for peace on earth, and we say Amen. Vimerumen, vimerumen. We raise our voice as one, and we say Amen.
It is my honor to call forward Jason Miller Goodman, one of the members of our Board of Trustees, to deliver tonight's Devar Torah. If you are interested in delivering a Devar Torah, you can always contact Cantor Berlin or myself or Rabbi Nathan. We would love to hear your thoughts on the Torah portion. And we help you.
Good evening. This week's Torah portion, Vayelech, is near the very end of Deuteronomy. This parasha takes place on Moses' last day on earth. God said to Moses that he would not be the one to lead the Israelites to the promised land. Moses was 120 years old when he transferred leadership responsibilities to Joshua. At this point, Moses finished writing the Torah scroll and entrusted the Levites to keep it safe from generation to generation. We are also given the mitzvah of hachel, which literally means gather. In this mitzvah, the people of Israel are instructed to gather every 7 years during Sukkot to listen to the Torah being read. Finally, God predicts that the Israelites will eventually abandon their covenant, but a forthcoming poem, stay tuned next week, will remind Israelite descendants of the presence and importance of this covenant. When it comes to Torah, there seems to be an inverse relationship between portion length and commentary. Vayelech is the shortest Torah portion, coming in at only 30 verses. Yep, all that happened in just 30 verses. There's so much packed into the 30 verses that I had no idea where to start. So we're gonna be going some interesting directions this evening. Dr. Weisberg from HUC helped to clear my mind just a little though. So we can all thank her for a shorter Devar tonight. She notes the importance of community and how unity around an important ritual like hachel can be uplifting even in a time of uncertainty. For the Israelites, they were losing Moses, the only leader they ever knew. On top of that, they were going to be entering a land unknown to them after traveling in the wilderness for 40 years. In 2022, and as we start 5783, we are also in a time of uncertainty. We are entering a post-pandemic world with tensions high in nearly every direction. So I told you we were gonna be going weird directions, here we go. In pharmacy school, 75% of my studying involves looking at repulsion and cohesion within and between molecules. There's a constant battle within them and between them to stay together or push apart. External forces help to facilitate cohesion or cause dispersion. It may seem like a really weird thing to hear up on the bema, but we're all just made up of molecules. All of us are subject to repulsive, cohesive, and adhesive forces on molecular and macroscopic levels. We have to work together. We have to work to learn together. We have to work to associate with anyone around us, no matter how amenable we are to them. We have to work to love our neighbors while battling external forces that may seek to repel us from each other and the rest of society. Other forces, like the power of Shabbat and this sacred space, work toward cohesion. It takes an immense amount of work to juggle these competing forces individually and collectively. That should be it for my science references. All right, Rabbi Jacobson Maisels reminds us of the dangers of falling behind in this work, though. If we do not find the right balance of I and we in the context of God, all the work we are doing will be for naught. He continues by laying out specific examples in the context of this portion that shows the dangers of focusing on I too much. Basically, we end up working toward an untruth that distorts what God may have really been asking us to do. It makes sense to me, and I have no qualms with that idea. However, I would like to build upon his commentary by emphasizing the dangers of focusing too much on we. Yep, I'm going to make an argument for being selfish sometimes. Don't get me wrong, it is incredibly important to focus on we. Without community, Judaism would not have survived for millennia. However, we must take care of ourselves too. Believe it or not, we are all leaders like Moses. We may not all be in a defined leadership role, but we all lead something: classrooms, offices, households. These things rarely, if ever, run on their own. When the I works too hard and does not take time for themselves to recharge, they rob the units they are leading of prime leadership. Therefore, we must always keep in mind the balance of I and we when it comes to leading. Why is that important, though? I don't know. However, I do know that uncertainty defines the future. Not one person in this world knows what an hour from now will hold, much less tomorrow. By definition, there is uncertainty everywhere and always. We just have to be prepared and ready. Knowingly or unknowingly, Moses was helping Joshua prepare for the moment Moses would no longer be the leader of the Israelites. Joshua was given ample opportunities to develop his leadership skills in the wilderness. Even after Joshua, there was never a guarantee the Israelites would still adhere to the tenets of what would become Judaism. This could have been the result of anything from personal interest to apathy. However, God prepared for lack of adherence by commanding communal events, specifically Hahel, to try and balance the I and we in Judaism. The future is uncertain for everyone, but it does not have to be scary. Yes, external forces will work to push us apart from each other, but there will always be steadfast institutions like Temple Beth-El that will act as a beacon of hope for this generation and generations to come. We must find ways to support each other and the longevity of institutions like this one to counter the dangerous forces that reside outside of these walls. We must also take care of ourselves, know our limits, and reward ourselves every now and then to make sure we are always energized to work on this balance. So where does the I-we balance happen? I don't know the answer to that one either. I do know things, just not that. I would guess, though, that the balance is different for every person. Further, the balance may change from year to year, day to day, or hour to hour. That's the joy and curse of being human. Every day is different. Okay, I lied. I want to talk about science just one more time. It's not always a bad thing that different forces are working for and against molecules. If we didn't have gravity, we would all just be floating dissociated molecules. If we didn't have what physicists call normal force under our feet, we would just fall through the ground. And without critical opposing processes on a microscopic level, we would not be alive. Okay, that for real is the end of my science talk. But the point is, it's good to have opposing forces. As humans and as Jews, we have the opportunity to control the balance of these opposing forces. Part of our responsibility is engaging in mitzvot like Hahel. By doing so, we come together as a community, hopefully as a collection of fully and charged, ready eyes, to learn not just Torah, but also where everyone around us comes from. Understanding our neighbor, even when we disagree, first off, takes a lot of work. It's not even easy in a non-polarized environment. However, candid conversations may lead all parties to the same values. Yes, the person who vehemently disagrees with you on the means may ultimately agree with you on the end. I'm not trying to be idyllic. It's very possible that you may not fundamentally agree on the same values in the end, but that is the challenge of life. Finding those who do share your values, though, even if their means to an end are different than yours, will help to start a conversation of cooperation. At that point, the cycle of Hahel can continue because cooperation is possible, which promotes compromise, which leads to a stronger front to battle heinous values like anti-Semitism and other hate. Everything is about balance. Internal balance, external balance. Balance is key. Moses and Joshua had these internal and external struggles to find the right leadership balance, calling upon God for help. Doing so allowed for the Israelites to eventually reach the Promised Land. In the present, I believe it is possible to create function in a dysfunctional world by finding the right balance. In doing so, we can push the balance of positive and negative forces toward justice. Shabbat Shalom.
We continue with Aleinu on page 78. We rise together.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשני כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך
You may be seated. I share with you a memorial meditation that is not found in your book. And before we do that, we note with sadness the death of Dahlia Temple Pagan, sister of Christiana and Carl Brown, aunt of Celine Scadon, Erica Brown, Jasmine Tobias, and Tatiana Brown. Service arrangements are pending in Florida. You can't bring back the dead. You can't bring back the dead, but you can live with them inside your feet and your hands, guiding your cooking, your dreaming, your words, singing melodies of comfort so sweetly. You can say their names out loud, name your children after them, make movies about them, and wear their socks or pajamas, or a necklace made of jade. You can't bring back the dead, but you can ponder your regrets, write them I'm sorry letters, pray for forgiveness, and know that you might be one of those people who waited too long, just maybe. You can put together intricate photo collages of them in all their ages and glory, when they were sleeping, when they were posing, hoping to smell them again or sit in their lap. You can see them suddenly walking down the street, same gait, same clothes, same bad haircut. You can hear their voice calling to someone. You can't bring back the dead, but you can look into the eyes of your mentor and know that your dead sister is looking back at you through her eyes, saying, yes, it's me. You get another chance. Don't be afraid. You can eat that chopped liver as if mom is in the room saying, have some more, it's delicious. You can tend to your plants as if her arms are your arms and your intuition is really hers. You can't bring them back, but you can learn their Torah, passed down from generation to generation. You can't bring back the dead, but you can mourn their deaths. You can write their names on your sidewalks, in the synagogue, in your poetry. You can't bring them back, but you can remember their lives, each individual life. We name those in our community and extended communities whose yahrzeit it is as they died at this time in years past. David Beret, Rizal Bloom, Nathan Blum, Joseph W. Carson, Jonathan Klutz, Charles Davis, Betty Delavan, Dr. Daniel Eduardo Demetman, Henry Donzis, Kenneth Downing, William M. Finkelstein, Harold Freeman, Milton A. Frost, Carol Poland Garrison, Irma Golden, Isabel Goodstein, Major Jack Maurice Gore, Jack Gorlick, Bridget Grossel, Rosetta Guggenheim, David Hoff, Stephen Brian Holland, Herman Horwitz, Lloyd Clifton Jones, Andrea Lackman, Shirley Lakritz, Mary Frank Ladon, Julian Lauderstein, David E. Levine, Milton Levinson, Barbara Diane Levy, Isidore Mazur, Helene Nagel, Clara Norris, Larry Pearlstone, Irving F. Reichert Jr., Dorothy Reimer, Martin Rosenstein, Pauline Doris Rubin, Delia Solomon, Bertie Charlack Schwartz, Evelyn Siegel, Leslie Sokol, Wolf Solomon, Harry Stern, Charles Stockstill, Thomas W. Stewart, Bernhard A. Wiederman, Sidney Wiederman, Frank Williams, and Carl E. Wolf. To these names, we add the names of 3 who have been buried in the past month, whose families are in a mourning period of Shloshim. Remember Deborah Levine Rubenstein, Sally Cooper, and Robert Gerwitz. To all of these names, we add those which are in our hearts each and every day as we turn to Kaddish Yatom on page 86. And before we rise together, I want to remind you that there is a Shabbat Shuvah insert. We rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'yizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'elam ulmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha brichu. La'ela ula'ela mikol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, ta'amiran be'elma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, u'ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. And together we say, amen. You may be seated. It is my honor to call forward Debbie Roos, President of our Board of Trustees, to deliver tonight's announcements.
I would very much like to welcome everyone. I'm so glad you could join us in our sanctuary or in your own sacred space. Thank you also to everyone who participated in our service tonight. I think you can tell by both our candlelighter and by our Devar Torah reader that you are very safe hands with the fellow members of our Board of Trustees. On this Shabbat, in the midst of what might be considered the Super Bowl of Jewish events, I want to take a moment to pull back the temple curtains and thank some of our staff for their work that is done so well that it often goes unnoticed, but without whom everyone would notice. Specifically, I'd like to recognize the core custodial staff: Mike, Sonny Jr., Alan, Bert, Daniel, Janie, and Priscilla. There's so much that they do that I can't actually do justice to their portfolio. But I know without them, we wouldn't have candles or wine on our Kiddush table for Shabbat, apples and honey after Rosh Hashanah morning service, that there wouldn't be prayer books in the pews or on the cart, microphones for our choir wouldn't be set up, dinners and meetings would be missing their tables and chairs, and our nearly 100-year-old building would not be in its top-notch state of repair. These folks work before hours, during hours, and after hours on our congregation's behalf, making sure Temple looks, feels, and is as beautiful as it can be our sacred religious home. I'm honored to be getting to know each of them, week by week, month by month. They make my job much easier and frankly, a lot more fun. I invite you to introduce yourself and thank these amazing folks. They are part of the magic that makes Temple Beth-El, Temple Beth-El. Here's some upcoming events at Temple Beth-El. Kever Avot, cemetery memorial services, will be held Sunday, October 2nd at Beth-El Memorial Park on Austin Highway at noon, and at Temple Beth-El Cemetery on Palmetto Street at 4:30 p.m. Please join us next Tuesday, October 4th at 5:30 p.m. or 7:45 for Erev Yom Kippur and the Haunting Melody of Kol Nidre. Temple Beth-El Sisterhood is sponsoring the Break the Fast on Wednesday, October 5th after Ne'ilah, and there are still seats available. Join us at 6 p.m. on Sunday, October 9th for Erev Sukkot at Rabbi Nathan's house for services, followed by pizza and salad. And you must eat your salad first, and then you may have pizza. RSVP, yeah, you think I'm kidding. RSVP is required, and the address will be given once you're registered. Please join us in celebrating Shabbat in the Sukkah with a beautiful Shabbat meal on Friday, October 14th, immediately following services. Adults are $26 and children are $12. Please RSVP for both Sukkah events no later than October 7th. Everything going on at Temple is listed on our website calendar and in our weekly email, which arrives in your inbox around 4 p.m. on Thursday. Shabbat Shalom.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of things. And all of the Yom Kippur services as well. The morning service is 10:30, our Yom Kippur Symposium at 1, 2:30 our afternoon service, 4:30 our Yisker service. Just stay for the day if you'd like, we'll be here. Oh, yes, and on Rosh Hashanah, you got a bag that you can bring your food back on Yom Kippur morning. You can bring it in the evening also, but in the morning, our teens will be in the parking lots helping you take that out of your cars so you don't have to carry it, and the food bank will be picking it up later during the day. If you don't want to bring food, you can donate to the Temple Beth-El Hunger Drive. All of that information is online. You know where to find it all on the High Holiday tab. Our closing song is for the last time, first time in 5783. True, right? Okay, but last time right now for this season is We Return Hashivenu, which can be found on your service supplement. We rise together and join in song.
We return,
We return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again. We return,
we return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again and again to love, to love, to love, to love. We return again to love. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Yameinu Kekerem Yalalai la la la, 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 yalalai la la, yalalai la la la, yalalai la la la, yalalai la la. We return,
we return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again. We return,
we return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again and again to you, to you. To you. To you. We return again to you.
Shabbat Shalom.